10:45. We've been in here for a little bit now. The wind is not very consistent. When it is doing what it's supposed to do and blowing hard, it's usually going the direction we want it to, but in between there's a lot of swirling that could screw us up later, but haven't seen anything yet. Still flaring snow, so. Anything else?
Hour and a half left. It's over. Last day of Illinois season. It's now or never. Something moves tonight. If not, we can't complain. Everybody got their chances. Killed 3 good bucks. Jake missed a good buck. Jake can't kill those. So, kind of all waiting on Jake.
Seems like it.
What's your thoughts on that, Sawyer?
I don't know. Being patient.
Time for being patient is over.
Yeah.
First thing without horns that walks out here is getting whacked.
Yeah.
And the second one. And maybe the third one. Pretty hungry. Freezer's not looking so great this year.
Yeah, usually we've got like 5 or 6 deer at this point, right? And now we've only got 3. So.
Yeah.
Let me do some explaining here. So me and Dad are sitting there, I don't remember what time it was, but we saw the sudden point that we had seen the other night, and he was up on the hill, which is across the creek from us, and he was coming down the road that we have there. And he stopped kind of coming down the road and started going directly down the hill, and he got down to the bottom. We couldn't see him anymore there. And so then a few minutes later, I saw him pop out, or I just saw him walking right across the cornfield right to us. And so that's when I grabbed my bow.
We just saw a sudden point that we saw the other night coming down the road, and he cut into the hill and came down. He's probably going to cross the creek and come up at some point.
And then basically he didn't do much. He kind of came toward us at one point. The closest he got was like 53 yards, but he didn't come any closer than that. And then he ended up going back down to the other end of the field, which was like pretty far away, like 100 some yards. And so a little bit after that, some does came out at the very end of the field, and I think there was 4 of them. Yeah, so there were 4 does. It was 1 button buck, 1 like real young doe, and then 1 other younger doe. Like the one was this year's fawn, then the other one was just young doe, and then there was the big doe. And they all hung out there for forever. At one point, the button buck started making his way toward us through the field, and he didn't get very close. And then the 7-point kind of followed him a little bit, not all the way though. The 7-point got like all weird and turned around, and he ended up leaving at one point closer to dark. And so then this part's really weird. Some raccoons came out of the corn, and that seemed to make the biggest doe there, the adult doe, that seemed to make her like real angry, like she didn't want the raccoons eating their corn. And so she went over to the one that was furthest from us, it was closest to them, it was like 60 yards away or something, and she started kicking the thing, and then there was 2 raccoons right in front of us too. And so it seemed like she was coming down right along the edge of the corn to scare those raccoons away. That seemed to be the only reason she was coming down to us, and was gonna look like she was gonna give us a good shot. I was originally just planning on shooting a deer with my bow, but we had the crossbow just in case, because it was the last day of season and we needed another deer for meat. So it was literally, I think, very last light when it was going to be completely dark was about 5:26, and it was about 5:22 when she started walking down to the second raccoons that were close to us. So yeah, she started walking down toward those coons, and then she was going to be out at like 30 or 35, which at that light I didn't want to shoot with my bow, and there was no chance, there was no time for anything else to happen for her to get closer. So either I was going to shoot her with the crossbow, or we were going to be done this season with only 3 deer in the freezer. So we got out the crossbow, and I'll quit babbling here. I know that you guys are probably tired of that, no one wants to see that, so I'll just skip to the video now. Yeah, so she ran off, and then we went out and looked for the bolt. We found the bolt, and it smelled real gutty, which was weird because I thought I had smoked her. But so we followed the trail. We jumped her pretty quick right away. And we would have backed out normally in that situation, but it was snowing really hard, and we didn't want to. If we would have backed out, her tracks and blood would have got covered in snow, and we would have never found her. So that wasn't an option. So we had to keep going. So we trailed her about 200 more yards, and we were on good blood the whole time, which the stuff that wasn't covered in snow, there was a lot of it. We were just tracking her like normal, and I saw her eye shine through the brush like 10 or 15 yards ahead of us. So we backed out, went and got the truck. Well, we found the bolt right out where we thought it would be, and it smelled a little gutty. The shot was at like 30 yards. So I don't know how I screwed it up.
Grab that bolt.
Alright. Never shot that crossbow before, but it's driving tax. Ava smoked a deer with it a few weeks ago. I have no idea, but so we followed the blood trail, and she had like 2 beds. We jumped her at one point. Tons of blood though. And then we were getting up, finding a ton of blood, and I saw her eye shine up in the brush, and she was just looking at us. She was only like 10 yards away, so she's done. We're back at the blind now. We just went up, got the truck. We're gonna go back there, and if by some crazy chance she's not dead yet, we'll shoot her when we put her down, but it just sucks. I feel terrible. As a hunter, you have a huge responsibility to try to put down your animal as quickly and humanely as possible, and I did not do that effectively. No hunter has ever not poorly hit an animal that went for a long time and stuff, but everyone just feels bad when they do it because it sucks. But we're gonna go back and get her, have some more burger in the freezer now. Any words from you?
I just hope she's still laying there dead.
Yeah. There she is.
Oh, she's dead.
Oh, yeah. Alright, thank goodness.
Unbelievable.
That's the exit.
The old shit buck.
What?
No.
Why would you do that? Oh my goodness.
Alright. Last minute of the last day. Literally.
I'm just glad to get it over with. I knew it was my 13th deer, so I knew there was going to be something wrong with it. You know, unlucky 13.
Should have known that.
But we got it over with. Yeah, she's a hog. I mean, she's probably bloated, but she looks big.
How the she run that far?
I smoked her. Alright, well, this is going to be an autopsy coming up.
I want to drag her out.
Okay.
You carry the crossbow.
Alright. As you saw, we got her out of there. How far did she go? 300 yards?
In a straight line. Yeah, at least 300 yards.
Yeah, and then she crossed some crazy valleys and ditches and crap. All on a shot that's just a couple inches behind the shoulder, so we have no idea how that happened. We're gonna look when we got her though, see what the deal is. But we did it. Last day, last 5 minutes of light, we shot one. First crossbow deer too. We're gonna go get her now in the truck. little bit further. Well, we got her. She was about 300 yards from impact. No idea how she ran that far. This was the exit right here. The entrance is about the same. If anything, a little low. Inch, 2 inches, 3 inches back, barely. She must have just been a real fighter. So, good one to take out though of the herd. A nice big doe. Be one less to bust us out next year. Plenty of meat in the freezer. Last day. I'm very happy. First crossbow deer too. We're just coming out of Casey's now. Had to get washed up because we just gutted her. She had one lung that was pretty much cut in half from the broadhead, and then there was a big old cut in the liver. So the shot looked pretty good. Yeah, I guess she was just real tough. Plus, only having one lung doesn't help out or doesn't make anything easier. But
We got on her pretty hard too.
yeah,
But
oh yeah, we were right
snowing
behind
like
her.
crazy at the shot.
Yeah.
Blood was covered up before we got there, so it was really tough. We just wanted to keep going. We were losing it hard, so
Yeah.
pushed her a little bit.
So, deer season is at a close, which means snow goose season just a couple weeks away. Excited for that.
Chainsaws out. Start working on the farm for next year.
That too. All right, yeah. The next time you see us, we'll be just with the snow goose spread. So, we're doing some work. Either one. Thanks for watching.
Holy Jesus, look out for the snowplow!
I don't think it's gonna hit us,
Oh.
but